Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Um, I don't know, just asked me to do more talking. Yeah, I will. I'll just talk like I always do, whatever is on my mind today. Um, I'm going to share a Lady Babylon that I watched last night at the 57-minute mark. Start at the 56-minute mark, and you're going to hear how a Greek word, Emanuele, God is with us, is not a Hebrew word, and God is with us was with them in Greece. Explain that one. For you Hebrew Bible scholars. If you think you actually know what you're reading, you might want to listen to what the truth is. If you're into the truth and into uncovering the twists that have been done by the Khazarians or whoever we want to call them, bastards, um, then you'll really enjoy the truth. If you don't, there's nothing I can do for you. You don't probably belong here because your understanding of what is going on is limited, you know. So anyway, cheers. I love y'all regardless. If you're here just for the enjoyment or the friendship, I appreciate you. I love you and hoping you have a good day or life or whatever you're doing. So cheers. Somebody had mentioned my guns. Yeah, my whole body's like that. And I was like, Doug and I were talking. He said something about when he was injured, one of his injuries, um, and when it's hard to recover, it's a lot worse if like, you can't just, like, pop out of the womb and say, I have definition in your muscles. You might if your mother was like doing workouts when she was pregnant with you, like watching her. I did exercise when I was pregnant. So, not so much with the second one, but definitely with the first one. The second one, um, I don't know, it actually was even a more pleasant pregnancy in a lot of ways. I could eat, which was more normal, you know, than the first one was rather abnormal. Um, anyway, yeah, the worst thing about being incapacitated is not being able to do the things you want to do when you're broken or hurt or sick or those types of things. And if you've never taken care of yourself, oh yeah, I smoke. Don't worry about me, worry about yourself. I'm doing good, thank you. But if you've never kept strong, um, you're probably not going to get your health back because you didn't work on yourself before that. But I mean, if you never have, there's no time like the present to probably start doing something, you know? That's why if I know a man wants to beat me up, I'll arm wrestle him first. Or if he wants to hurt somebody I love, hey, if you can beat me, you can have that. I swear. If you can beat me in arm wrestling, you can pulverize this person I'm trying to protect. That's my attitude. To this day, I'm not Mike Tyson. I didn't take 20, 30 years off on the hard work that I've always had to do. Mike Tyson was not a drywaller, you know, or a ranch hand or none of those physical. No, probably never. He might have framed up a building, maybe, or roofed or insulation or whatever, maybe, maybe not. But when you do physical labor, um, yeah, your body suffers, but you're still going to be strong as nails when you get older. and still quick. Why not? Yeah, sometimes I get up, my knees hurt. But if I got to jump up and beat your ass, I'm not going to be worrying about the pain and I'm not going to take my time getting up, you know, for the record. So, yeah, don't ever quit. So, anyway, I think must have been when Doug was about my age. He actually snowboarded, used my snowboard. I have a red flamed snowboard, and he actually went down a pretty big hill in the back here with it. So I mean, like I say, we're not really like feeble around here like your typical. Yeah, I can't talk, but I'm strong, right? So your typical people, no, we're not your typical aging people. You can age gracefully, you know? So people think, well, wait, do you look good in a dress? Well, of course I do. I'm not going to um like put on my work boots and my jeans to go to um somebody's wedding or oh well, I might, but if you see my point. But you're gonna look a lot better in your clothes if you have muscles than if you don't, you know. Anyway, I never went out to have bulk, although um you don't want to be too skinny because, you know, um it, it does make it easier for somebody to pick you up and throw you if they're capable of that. I've had that happen, you know. I got thrown into a wall. I did get back up and fight though, you know. So, and then it was worse. Not for me, you know. So anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Maybe it's because I just got through exercising. I have trouble sometimes keeping that adrenaline down. Sometimes I'll wait till after I make a video, depending on the mood I'm in. If I'm upset, if I'm angry with somebody, or if somebody's hurt my feelings intentionally, or like what I call the baby Masons playing their games, trying to sway my, that's what gets me. It's like, okay, like you gotta, what, break and you're a 15-degree Mason. Okay, well, a 33rd degree Mason, 3-time over Grand Master, Jesuit Templar with Shriner's rights and Scottish Rite couldn't control my mind, and I controlled his mind and took the situation over. So what say you now? It's these people like, oh, I have this degree. You don't even know what the 3rd degree is till you met me. You'll find out. Anyway, I can't stand them. I can't prove they're lying. In their soul, they know they're lying. Right up front, they really have no clue what they're even involved in. And 2 channels that I was watching, both black men, disappointing me with their prejudice. It's like you live in the United States of America where the Native Americans are not in control of their own government, and you make me wanna puke. That's pretty clear, isn't it? So go whine somewhere else. There's no fucking way that we should be sending money over to other countries to build their cities and help their elderly when we have indigenous people here without clean drinking water. Go air stuff. I don't care what color you are. And if you're prejudiced, get the fuck out of here and don't come back. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I love people all over the world. If you're not one of them, you don't belong around me. And like I went to write on that one's page, and I had written that I had gotten punched in the sternum. It broke. Had a big black spot on my heart, and by a white devil, but then I was cut in my arm by a black one. So, once again, go F yourself, you know? I had some indigenous that wanted to kill me and others that were my best friend, So it's like, whatever, people. Get it together. We're all human beings. If you want to treat somebody subhuman, or if you've been treated subhuman like I have, if you can't get over that, you are mentally ill. End of story. Make your excuses, but you're sick. I thought I left all that shit behind with those Masons, but then I meet another group of them that are just as bad, just playing into the same division and separation. And you think that your virtues, that your morality, and that your structure in your life is so much more than another human being's because you paid dues to fucking lodge. What a retard. That's disappointing. So, but is anybody interested in the fact that Emmanuel is a Greek word, and those stories that are in the Hebrew text were taken from other people? Does it matter who those other people are when it's their story and you made it your religion? Well, hell yeah, it does. Who are you following and why? If you can learn something new without taking God out of your heart, you're a hero. If you can't, you're dirt, small, without the ability to open your mind for other people in the world. That's how I feel about it, and I'm sticking to it too. So that is why most of my vocabulary is grounded from the Greek, and somebody has recognized that was my studies. Thank you. Appreciate that. You're going to find out a lot more what I did when nobody was looking too. Just keep reading that Bible of yours. What they would refer to as the Black Bible. These are the hidden texts, the texts that I read via the Masons, not just Masons, the orchestration, not the affiliated groups. So, anyway, the actual ones, the Blue Lodge, where you have the real information. So, anyway, um, I don't take secondhand news from small minded people, you know. But anyway, I was really happy that somebody actually, yes, that's the language I studied because I was intending on speaking it in the future when it was needed. So I can be that counterpart of the whole situation to help bring some sense to it. That's why I have my skills and other people have their skills. So that kind of works in tandem. That's why I don't want to do what somebody else is doing because I'm doing what I do. Like, for instance, a lot of people like maybe, oh, what type of music was I listening to or influenced by? Um, Stuff that was greatly esoteric in meaning, so deep that the dark cabal missed it. That's what I was listening to, and I share those types of things often, you know. Or I'll share something depending on my mood. It might be heavy metal. I could be as mellow as could be, though, and be listening to some metal. I could be angry and listen to classical. So, love, like I love the Viennese waltz. It's so beautiful. Something like that. That was a really cool waltz because when couples would get together and dance it, a lot of times it was to get engaged. And so they would pick their partner that they were hoping to propose to during the dance or after the dance or before the dance. But yeah, just one of my favorites. I like I think it's called Blue Danu waltz. Few other, but anyway. So I kind of feel like beating somebody up today. I don't really, but it's on the surface, not way down inside. So I'm so controlled. I am. I have reason to feel like that. It's not, um, anyway. I detest people trying to manipulate me. I don't mind somebody. See, this is it. They pose as teaching lessons, and it's um like slanderous. It's um like they're pretending to teach me lessons, and it's like an attack, but you can't prove it. That type of you know thing. So yeah, pisses me off. And these are little motherfuckers that would not do this shit to my face. I'll guarantee you that. I don't care who you think you are. You would second guess your boldness to my face in person. Guarantee you. I don't care who you think you are. So anyway, if the word ferocious doesn't strike a chord, whatever. And anybody can use a firearm. I'm a deadeye. I got all kinds of them around here. I hate them. I had Chinese stars. Oh, by the way, the other day I was telling you about that one nunchuck I grabbed. My friend was, well, we had been smart sparring, and then he showed me his dad had got him these, and he was pretty good with them. But I grabbed him. That pissed him off. And that little kung fu dude, a ninja that was trying to kill me. Oh no, not, he didn't have, no, it was the dude that came to my door. I ended up with his nunchucks before he left. So there was our kids had an altercation, and he thought I was just a woman alone with my kids, that I couldn't take care of myself. Well, that's what he got for thinking. So anyway, I did give my Chinese stars away because they were illegal. I think they probably still are. I'm not sure. It might not be illegal for an artist to own them, but you're still, it's a lethal weapon regardless, you know. So anyway, I could stick a butter knife in somebody's third eye. Is that a lethal weapon? You know, grew up throwing knives, and we had whips and bows and arrows and all kinds of guns, everything, all kinds of implements of destruction. I have a machete. I love it too. Not as much as I did my first one that got taken from me, but somebody stole it. But anyway, I just hoped when they used it, if they ever did, they'd realize how much work I had done with that. I had actually, to feed my kids, go out in a black field and cut corn out of the soybeans, walking down the rows, slicing corn off so it wouldn't get into the combine when they processed the soybeans. And we get paid so much a field for doing it. It was fucking hot, and it wasn't easy. It was hard work, you know. But I did love it in a weird way. And I was doing it for a friend of ours, so that was sort of a plus. Anyway, same friends, I had helped them to get some chickens to put in my parents' freezer. I had helped my friends, these three girls and their little brother, and we were cleaning chickens to put in the freezer, and they had turkeys, and they wanted me to help them with the turkey. I'm like, I'm not killing it, you know, because a chicken, you can just snap their neck. You have your glove on. You don't have to, like, do anything else. You can either pluck them or skin them after that or whatever. But I'm looking at these three turkeys. I'm like, I'm not killing them. You do it, you know. Besides that, there's some big effing birds, you know. You don't know what it's like to fight with a 30-pound bird. I worked at a chicken farm before I ran away for the last time, and that dude was a perv. Tried to tell people, but nobody was really listening to people, you know. And then people wonder too, you know, how do people get in bad relationships? Well, when you're raised to see something that is abnormal as normal, you still know, you should know that there's something not right with it. But then when somebody brings you a life or an existence that looks a step above what you came from, it's better than where you were. It still might not be healthy, but you don't really realize that when you're young. It's called conditioning. I was conditioned to accept things that I wouldn't even dream of accepting when I got older. By the time I was in my 30s, I'm like, no more of this nonsense. You know, well, 20. So when I had my kids, all I wanted was a stable life for my children, and it was already too late because they were um, also conditioned, and they were not able to come out of it. And these people that did that to them, that's not free. I'm just waiting because I know their day is coming where they're going to realize that you don't hurt another person for your own gains and think that shit's free. And when you're paying for it, you're going to know what you did and why you're paying for it. Yeah. Oh, one more cigarette. So anyway, I am glad that I've kept strong because, yeah, you have to. And work on your balance. I have one trick where I just stand there, lift up your leg, your knee, and then put your hands on your waist and put your leg out in front of you. And then do the other leg or do it backwards. It's also like partial yoga moves, but like warrior pose or I did like the other day um to keep stretched, or like this morning I did my push-ups and leg lifts and stuff, but also did some toe touching and um yeah, that type of thing. You have to. So, or you should. I think you should. Maybe not. But I had friends that could not stand to be around me. They could not even stand me because if they wouldn't go home, I'd start exercising in front of them and expect them to either sit down and have a cup of coffee and shut the fuck up so I can do this, or go, or do it with me. Those were the choices. It's like my kids. Either you're going to exercise with me or you're going to have quiet time. I call it meditation time. Sit on the couch and meditate. So they had their choice. They didn't have to be physically active. I don't exercise like I used to, but just enough so if I have to take care of myself in a situation, it's far more than most people do. And what I did was unlike what anybody else did. So, yeah, they would be sorry if they did, is what I'm saying. And I know I'll have that till I close my eyes for the last time. That's not going to go away, you know. So, careful for those wrinkly old senseis. They're not old for just any old reason, you know. I'm here because some people didn't get their way with me, you know. So lately, these last few years, I haven't worried about what do I weigh? I don't care. What do my muscles look like? That's it. The hell with the scale. I mean, I get on it every once in a while just to kind of see. It's like, yeah, doing pretty good, not bad. Because if you're really too thin and you're old and you don't have muscle mass, if you get sick, you're probably going to stay sick and die, you know. So it is important. So I have quite a few middle-aged friends. Better start doing some toe touchers or something. A few push-ups. Start with 10. Start on your counter. Like this morning, I was showing Doug on the counter push-ups with claps. You do your push-ups and then go back into it. You know, Not an easy thing, but nothing I could have done 5 years ago when my shoulder was still injured and my arm. you know. So, but yeah, we're down low. Getting claps in is a tricky thing. You know, Try it, even on your counter. I was trying to encourage Doug to, he's not going to though. I know. Actually, I've tried to get him to exercise with me so many times. So, he's had a hard time kind of functioning. He's hurt his back in like 1986 and is like partially disabled. He was never supposed to do body work again. I was never supposed to walk again. I wasn't going to let that happen, you know. Pulled my spinal cord way too far, inch and a half. That's unheard of, that a person with a pulled spinal cord in that liquid coming out of your spine that is toxic lives through those types of things and walks. But I know how to operate my body from the inside out. So I know I'm in control of my neurons, you know. Also on Lady Babylon, you can learn about what Jesus promises you. Ionic life is not the same as eternal or immortality. And check it out if that's important to you. I don't know. I think it would be, you know, might be a good thing for you to know the difference. The Antichrist comes first. Who are they waiting for to come back? Uh, He's already here, you know. Just that other people are taking control because it's called 2 against 1. So, so I'm gonna get this uploaded. Um, I'll play some music later. Try and think of some really cool stuff from way back. Um, I was on a live stream about a week ago, maybe, and I had shared a song from Rush called Xanadu. I think I spelt it with a Z, and it is spelt with an X. Olivia Newton-John also has a song, Xanadu, but it doesn't go into the depth of the text like Dr. Allman was reading on his live stream, the exact story of walking the caves of ice. All of it is in that song. So, yeah, you can look it up. I'm probably going to play something different, but just in case you're interested, Dr. Allman talks about those texts, and that's something that I had read, and then when I heard it in a song, I'm like, that was my favorite type of songs, and when they'd incorporate esoteric knowledge and they actually knew. It's like, yeah, you're on the same wavelength. I get it, just the most wonderful thing in the world. We don't have music like that anymore. So, and, that can be said just about every generation, but it just wouldn't sound the same if a rap artist tried to do that. It just there's no depth to the intelligence or the instrumentals, or not like that. Not like that. So, all right, everybody, I do appreciate you being here. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Check out Lady Babylon for the truth of the situation, and Emmanuel being a Greek word. God is with us. Oh my goodness. So he was with the Greeks before the Hebrews wrote their book. Imagine that, if you can. Does it matter? Well, truth does. Let's start there. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.